And welcome to the show, everybody. Boy, oh boy, have we had a day, Rochelle? We're having a day. I got to tell you, we're having a day. We've got a great guest for you. And by the way, Trish Steele, it sounds like an author to books. She's written books. Oh, my goodness. She's also been working and helping women for over 50 years. What's her website, Rochelle?
Yes, everybody follow along with us as we have this conversation with Trish Steele at her website by her name, which is trishsteele.com. And I'm very excited for this, Kevin. My energy has gone through the roof since I woke up, and it continues to grow, so I'm excited.
I'm excited, and so let's get started, shall we?
Let's do it.
There is a moment in every life when you decide to rise, to stand taller than your fear, to speak louder than your doubt, to chase the vision that sets your soul on fire. This is that moment, and here we walk it together with stories that awaken, voices that inspire, and truths that set you free. This is Positive Talk with Kevin McDonald, where hope has a voice, and that voice is yours. In this case, that voice belongs to Trish Steele. It is my deep honor and pleasure to have you here, young lady. You've been working to help women for
50, you can say at 57, I'm just ageless and fearless and divinely connected. So, it's okay.
and you are all of that. And you are the owner and CEO of Women Crowned in Glory, Inc., /Safe Passage. You spent 35 years on a journey of full twists and turns on a path to fulfill her life's mission. And I got to ask you, your life's mission, what is your self-described life mission?
Well, my life mission is being ageless, fearless, and divinely connected spiritually so I can live a long, happy life.
And that you are, isn't she, Rochelle?
Right.
100%. Trish, I'm so curious. What got you into this way of thinking, and how did you find this way of living?
Well, basically, it all started as a little girl. We all have a story, and we find that most of our stories start when we were young.
Yeah.
And I had a tragedy with my dad. My dad died when I was 5 years old. And I lost my 70% of my hearing when I was 5 years old. And then I was getting bullied in school. And all I could think about is, why am I here on this planet? And, it was one positive word that my grandmother gave me. And she said, at that time, my name was Patty, which Trish comes from Patricia. She said, Patty, you are special. And the best is going to come out of you. You're just special. You're going through this because you are specially chosen. And you know what? When she said that, it just resonated in me in such a positive way that it inspired me to stay in faith and hope and not allow negativity and trauma and drama and handicaps and all these things that I went through as a young girl. I was on a mission to find what was my purpose here on life and here on earth.
Nice.
So as the years went by, I ended up in a domestic violence relationship. And it was because my self-esteem was not that great. And I think a lot of women and men can relate to this, that if your self-esteem and you don't feel positive or feel worthy of yourself, you're going to run into people that will take advantage of you and abuse you in many different angles, because abuse, domestic violence comes in different forms. And with that relationship, I ended up in the hospital with my head split open from the punch. And the doctor took one look at me in the emergency and said, don't worry about this. He was so compassionate, this doctor. He said, I'm going to fix it as if it never happened. And you know what he did? He stitched it up. It didn't leave a scar, and he never charged me to anything. I don't. I can. I am. He never charged me a bill to stitch me up. The hospital didn't charge me a bill. And when he said that to me, I never forget the words. He said it with compassion. He says, "I'm going to fix this as if it never happened," and he's so right. Because most time when you get stitched up, there's a scar there left. When you look up here, there's no scar here. And so I knew from that point I was going to pay it forward. I knew I was special. I knew that I had a mission. I knew that I was going to go forth and something that nobody else could do but only me, because I was chosen to do this. And that's why I went through such hardship as a young girl, because I took that victim mentality and turned it to a victory mentality.
Amen.
That's
amazing.
a beautiful story.
Me and Kevin have this point to ponder, which I hope we play through the show. Kevin, please make sure we do this. But those scars, sometimes they're on the inside. We can't see them. And you don't know what people are walking around with, what they're carrying. But for you to experience this and work for the change in your life, what pivotal moment where you decided, I want to help more women see and feel this version of worthiness in their own self, their life?
Yes. So after I left that hospital, and I had to restore my whole life back, because I lost everything. Not only did I got rid of the fiance that I was supposed to marry, I didn't even have a job, so I had to reinvent myself again with all the skills that I had, and by doing what I'm passionate about. I figured out, what am I passionate about, and I started working in the beauty field as a makeup artist and stylist for the entertainment industry. And from the compliments and the joy that I was seeing people, these women and people and men and people I'm working with, that the joy they had working with me, and how they built me up and built my self-confidence up, applying me for my work and what I did. So as years went by doing this for the entertainment industry, God spoke to me and said, Trish, there's so many women out there that are trapped and crying for help, and they don't know how to get help. They don't know how to do what you did. They're crying. And I said, okay, Lord. And he says, I want you to start a woman's outreach, a woman's ministry. And I want you to go out into the marketplace and share your testimony. And I did exactly that. I went out to the different shelters, different places, and I shared my testimony, how I restored myself from a very abusive relationship, 3-year relationship, and how my childhood wasn't very good either, because I was, I had all these, things that were happening to me, and that was my turning point. And my ex-husband and I, we just fell in love with God, and we just said, okay, we're in this full time. And I opened up an outreach and ministry out of the church, and I had so many women that came in and shared their invisible scars with me. Some had some outside scars, and the ones that had the outside scars, I was able to get doctors and dentists to do pro bono work on them and get them and restore the scars in the teeth, the facial, whatever was showing. And so it was like I was living my calling, and I just developed so much compassion, and it became my full-time job. I had to leave Hollywood and say, no, bye. I'm going to open up my own nonprofit, and I'm going to go get more joy out of this with women that really need me. You know what I mean? So that's how it all transformed.
Beautiful.
Trish, I have to tell you that I've done over 3,000 interviews in my time, and I have yet to find anybody that has said, "Oh no, I had no trauma in my life. My life was practically perfect in every way, except for Mary Poppins, maybe." Um, and and because of that, and by the way, this goes back. You've been doing this since the 70s and 80s, and it goes back into a time I was growing up then. We didn't talk about such things as trauma and sexual abuse and physical abuse like we do now, and some of it, yeah, exactly, and some of it is because of the work that you have done to help humanity realize that if the first thing we have to do is talk about it. The
That's
second
right.
thing we have to do is to get people to stop doing stupid stuff to each other and to be
Yes.
kind and to be loving with each other. So congratulations on the work that you've spent your life doing. Do you feel as empowered and as empowering as I think you should?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Good.
A matter of fact, Kevin, um, so I've been an advocate for 57 years. When I changed the age of 17, I said, I'm not going to keep this dirty little secret, because what I didn't tell you, I was molested and abused by my stepfather. And that was the dirty little secret. See, that's where it all started. I'm telling you, I had a rough, childhood. And so um, from that point on, the first time I shared that, because you don't share those kind of things, especially my mom. I told my mother what happened, and she goes, shh, okay, let me try and get out of this thing. But she said, don't say anything. And so when I told my best girlfriend about this, that was my starting point to my healing, my journey to become an advocate, to peel off the layers of secrets and what do you call it, where you feel unworthy, but there's guilt, because you develop a lot of guilt too.
Mm.
And it was just an amazing journey. But thank God that I had the mind of steel. My name wasn't Steele then, but at that time I had the mind of steel, which my book now called Discover the Mind of Steel. It goes back into the 50s. Kevin, I was born in the 50s, not in the 60s. I went through the whole history of the 60s, of the drug movement, the assassination of Martin Luther King and Kennedy, and all that I went through that all, and I came out clean. You see what I mean? Because of the way I realized God, I knew that I was special, and that word, just that one word, special, stuck in me to give me the strength to get through every bad thing in my life, anything that was going to be destructive toward me. And
well, Michelle, I have to say, because you're a younger woman, and I would love you to speak on this when we come back from this break. And yes, I'm going to play that commercial.
You heard me.
I did.
No, you wouldn't believe.
We it's like we are connected, she and I, but I want you when we come back, because you're a younger woman and you're standing on the shoulders of people like Trish, who took the arrows and talked about these things when what really wasn't in that day. It wasn't fashionable to do it, and so it takes a great deal of bravery, and Trish Steele, I'm here to tell you, you are special. And Michelle, how does somebody get a hold of her and buy her books and get in touch with her?
I do believe the best place to go for everybody is her name, trishsteele.com. The last name is Steele, and she's got everything on there from about her, some of the coaching work she's got available, public speaking, and she's got some retreats going on. And then, of course, a way to contact her. So don't miss out. Please do visit her website, trishsteele.com. And when we come back, I will share my thoughts.
And this is a point to ponder that was created by my team, and that's all we play here are inspirational little moments. And this is one of those. Trish, this is for you. Here's another point to ponder by Positive Talk Radio. Our scars are not signs of weakness. They are maps. Proof of the battles we faced and the roads we survived. Each scar tells a story. Each mark whispers of resilience. Don't hide them. Wear them as a reminder that you are still here, still breathing, still becoming. You are listening to Positive Talk Radio, where stories of hope live. And welcome back to Positive Talk. I got to tell you, Brachelle is here. My name is Kevin, and Trish Steele is our guest. And Brachelle, I defer to you.
Thank you. Well, first, I've got to know, Trish, what did you think of that? Because I did bring it up beforehand about the scars.
I love that video clip. That is exactly that should be played on my website. That's got to be played on my website.
I know the guy.
We can make that happen.
Yes, we can.
That was a great website. A matter of fact, so the thing is, I'm looking for doctors now to join my Woman of Steel movement because it's just all about bringing the people that have passion behind their talent to save lives. You understand? It's about saving lives and bringing them out of that murky clay and that rut in their life, or that depression, or that hopelessness, or whatever it is. Yeah. And each one of us have a gift or a positive thing that we can say to them that would just enlighten them to, like, oh my God, okay, I want to live. I want to move on. I want to go forth. I want to find out what my calling is in life. And that's the beauty of positive radio and safe passage.
Yes. Well, thank God we're here. I have to say this too, because you guys were talking and I started to think of myself and kind of my age group, and I'm going to be Kevin someday on here talking to the world and saying, I lived through COVID, and my grandma says Covis, and I lived through Donald Trump being president. I lived through all of this and that, and what I'll be able to become out of it. And Trish, as you were talking, you mentioned guilt, and before you even said that, first thought that came into my mind, I don't know where it came from, but I have to ask you because the higher power is telling me to do so. Okay. That question is, how important was it for you when you learned the power of forgiveness for self?
Forgiveness? Forgiveness, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. That is the best question ever, because without forgiveness, you cannot move forward. You cannot move forward without forgiveness.
Sweat.
So I tell you, it was the Almighty God that made me forgive my stepdad for the first thing, what he did to me.
Yeah,
molesting me and telling me just horrible things. Like he was trying to make me believe that my mother didn't want me and try to get rid of me and all that. So that was the first thing. And God put compassion in my heart. I was able, and I was only in my early 20s then, and I just because God had me on a mission to trust him, even though I wasn't serving him every day, and I wasn't going to church, and I wasn't involved with a Christian group. I was more involved in Hollywood and my career, trying to get build up my self-esteem and trying to get my life, on the path that I was called to do. And God's the one that gave me all those natural talents. I learned all this stuff before I even went to beauty school and esthetician school, and before I ever worked for Jacqueline and all this stuff. I learned everything. I knew how to keep my body youthful and how to heal from the inside out. I knew how to do that. It was a natural gift.
Oh, Trish, what? Did you say you worked with Jacqueline?
Yes, that's how far back I go. I was one of his first managers in the health club. Oh, we got to talk about that show. Oh my God.
So tell me, was his dog Storm the great dog that I think he was?
Yes, he's real. He was so real, the best. His wife, oh my gosh. And his wife just recently passed away, but his wife and him, I went to their house. We did competitions. I was in the competition. All those managing the competition, the girls compete with the girls. And I just had my first child. And I just broke up with my first marriage. And I got my body in the shape after having a baby. And I went for Jacqueline. And I was so good at it. He wanted me to manage everybody, train the guys, train the girls, how to get in shape and everything. So, this is what I came. It's like anything that wasn't good. It was like I ended up in the first marriage that was wrong. And I I had my daughter. I was pregnant during the time I was dating the guy, and then we finally decided to get married, and I had my daughter. But then we broke up after my daughter was born because he wasn't the right man. He was, just not the right man. I don't have to go and talk about him, but he's just the right. And then God puts this Jacqueline Hellspawn. Okay, go interview on this job. I mean, I got it. It's like everything that didn't work out, God would replace with something good for me. And it's because I had a forgiving heart. Amen. I've always been a type of kid that had to forgive me. I even forgave the kids that mocked me. I didn't get angry with them. I would just ignore them and walk away. But I even forgave them. Forgiveness is the key. And we do a forgiveness class for all of our women that come through the program. They have to do the forgiveness class.
And Trish, and just as an aside, I have to tell you, I can always tell when we are in the middle of a good show because Brachelle's cheeks start to hurt from smiling and laughing so much.
I've smiled so much today, and after this weekend, I know I needed it, but my jaw hurts, and it's exciting to be in this world and feel the energy of what is possible.
Yes.
Inside of us. It comes from inside.
It comes from us. Yeah. My class that I teach, well, I have several teachers. So my class I teach is beauty from the inside out.
Tell us about it.
It gives us beauty for ashes. God gives us beauty for ashes. So we give him our ashes, he gives us beauty.
I never. And Trish, speaking of which, I have to bring this person in because she's using a Jack LaLanne juicer right now.
Oh my God.
I told her to come and say hi. Hello, Mama. I love her. She's the strongest woman that I've ever had in my life. I told her, if you don't say hi, I'm going to shout you out. So thank you for being here. We love you. And I think that's insane. She really does use that juicer all the time because she ends up with so much fruit and she doesn't know what to do with it.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And it's helping to live longer and happier and healthier and stronger.
Yes, yes. You and her both, you have this energy that you'd never know the age. And my mom is almost 50. You'd never know that. Your age, I can't even wrap my mind around.
I know. That's true. That's how it's always been. It's like and people, the past 20 years, people say, Trish, you're not aging. I said, I'm not supposed to age. I'm ageless. It make me look older, but that's okay. Give me a couple of years. I have some eye surgery and I don't have to wear glasses anymore.
Well, and Heather also says, love you, wise daughter.
I never thought she'd say that. Ever.
Wow. How beautiful.
Thanks, Mama. I love you.
I love it.
Well, and I just have to tell you, Michelle's been with me a couple of years, and her growth has been nothing short of phenomenal. And it's because of women like you that have trailblazed and led the way so that it's okay more so for women to talk about the trauma that they've gone through. Because, and by the way, and this is where I have to make a public service announcement.
Uh-huh.
If you're a man and you're thinking about traumatizing a child or traumatizing somebody else or sexually abusing somebody else, you need to go get help and stop it now. If you're thinking along those lines to talk about anybody other than respect and love, go get the help that you need because God knows you need it. Am I correct in that, Trish?
You're right. You're right. And believe me, they can contact me and I'll give them some referrals.
Yes, very good. Because
go ahead.
It comes down to love, right? Me and my mom were talking yesterday, and she said, honey, everything comes down to love or fear. And really
Yes.
the fear is there. I've learned, Trish, to not, we're not hating away these parts of ourselves. We're trying to change. We're loving it away. And that fear is
Yes.
there to keep us safe. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore we have to come from a place of love, because if those people really needing that help gave themselves love and knew what that felt like, they wouldn't project that into the world. Is that why that is so important?
Yes. And you know what? It also, the word of God says, love is the greatest gift of all.
Yes.
The three gifts is faith, hope, and love. And love. So I'll tell you a real quick story. When I was asked to go speak at the prison in Selma over here, not too far from me, less than an hour away, he wanted me to speak to the criminals that had been convicted of domestic violence and abuse and all that. And all these men, there was like a boot camp. Instead of going in the main cell with the motor other criminals, they went into this particular boot camp where they would get counseling every single day. And they asked me to come and speak before all these men that were convicted of abuse and all that. And the person, the counselor, knew about me and says, I need you to come and share your story as a victim, and what, well, how you felt when this was happening to you. I shared my story there. 90% of the men there were in tears, and 95% of the men raised their hands because they all had been abused as young men. And they just, when they got angry, they just did what their dad did. Watched their dad do. It was a cycle. They were all in the cycle. And that's why they chose to do the boot camp instead of serving time in the main prison, because they were looking for another way out instead of being a revolving door for them back in the prison, getting caught. Because nowadays, restraining orders hold very tightly. And if a woman goes into a hospital with any kind of cuts, abuses, or punches, they report it. They have to report it, that this woman's been abused. They have to. And so, it's only to help the abuser to get his life together, because really these women don't really want to leave their husbands. All they want to do is be loved. They just want to be loved, these women.
Yeah. A lot of times so does the husband, and that's where we're missing is hurt people hurt people. That's why when we give ourselves love and compassion and forgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
it for someone like that, especially for me, like I used to be an abuser, just not like I wasn't beating people up everywhere,
Right.
but I wasn't spreading happiness or positivity because I didn't feel that about myself. And now that I've tried to, okay, I want to take this break a little bit early because I really want to talk about how you put into you talk about how women deserve to feel their worthiness. They're worth feeling worthy. And I'd love for you to break that down a little bit. And Kevin, can we play, please, the vulnerable compassion of vulnerability? That one?
Self-compassion?
Yeah.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I was going to play that. So you're,
Okay.
but Trish, I want to go real quick back into the mists of time. Back into 1967. There are four guys, and they're in London, and they are at a studio with a bunch of other people, and there is the very first you know exactly what I'm going to say.
Yes.
The very first worldwide broadcast, and they played a song that I hold and have always held near and dear to me, and it's part of my philosophy and my upbringing. It was the Beatles when they played All You Need Is Love.
Love, yes.
And when we come back, we're going to have Michelle take the lead on this, but we'll be right back in. It's just going to be like 1 minute. So stay with us, everybody, please. This is an important show that we are doing today. You're listening to Positive Talk Radio Network. We're on a mission to entertain, enlighten, empower, and educate through inspiring music, dynamic conversations, and yes, laughter. Join me, Kevin McDonald, and Rochelle as we declare our freedom from hate, division, and fear and celebrate a better way of living. Go to positivetalkradio.net to find out more. Why is it, do you suppose, that we are our own harshest critics, maintaining a standard for ourselves that we would never demand of a friend? We mistake self-criticism for discipline, but real growth requires a different environment, one of self-compassion. When we quiet the internal judge, we find the clarity and the energy we need to actually improve. True strength begins with the peace you make with yourself. And welcome back to Positive Talk. My name is Kevin, and Rochelle's here. And Rochelle, thank you so much. I know your back is hurting a little bit, but this is an important place for you to be. And thank you for being here. And Trish Steele is our guest. Take it away.
Yes. Well, because we're having this conversation, I forgot my back really hurt. I'm just living in my best space. But Trish, you had mentioned helping women feel that they are worth feeling worthy, and understanding that from within. How do you help when somebody comes to you and works with you? How does the process go?
So first of all, I let them know that their foot was directed divinely to come to my office and to come for help. I said, this is the most bravest thing you could ever do, is really to step out of that abusive environment and come and ask for help. And I said, that shows, first of all, that you are worthy to get help. God brought you here. And so that's for the first thing, to make them feel like it's okay, you're safe here. Now let's open up and let's get more about what made your path and where you ended up the way it did. Let's go back into your childhood. Did you get enough love from your parents? Did you have trouble, associating with people, And I just go through a whole list of questions and trying to figure out how personal, because I let them know that each and one of us have a different DNA. Each and one of us are made fearfully and wonderfully made by God. We all are not the same. We all have different personalities. We all have something to offer someone. God didn't make a mistake in making us. So we're going to find out what is it that God has for you to do, because you are worthy. You're God's child. Now let's go forth.
Beautiful. Kevin, have you ever had someone come to you and say that?
Nope. And I wish I did when I was a child. It was, of course, this goes back again to the 60s. Times were different then.
Yes, they
people were different then. And they were not nearly as loving as compassion. I think the late 60s had something to do with that, that as we developed a little bit more about love and flower power and taking care of each other and make love, not war, and all of that kind of thing. But it is a process that we have all been on. And that's one of the reasons why having a guest like you is so important to people, because we can now shine a light on the negativity, hate, division, and fear of what happens to people, so that they can live the life that, as you put it, and I agree wholeheartedly, as God intended for us to live. He didn't intend for us to live in hate, division, and fear. He intended, because all there is love. Rochelle, go ahead.
Okay, Trish, this is perfect to ask you this. On your website, when you go to About on Trish's website, which again is trishsteele.com, you talk about it flows from a balanced life of spirit, soul, and body in that sacred order. What does that mean?
Okay, so first of all, the spirit, we all have a spirit, and people need to understand why do we have a spirit and who are we connected to? So especially people that don't know God, and especially people that don't understand why they're here on earth. Okay, so our body's been created spirit first. We were spirit first, and then God sent us and turned us into a body. Okay, we're a baby, and so forth, and and then our soul is our mind, emotions, and will. Okay, so what I do is I teach them each area. I help them to understand their connection with God first, to understand what their purpose is here, so they can feel hope, so they can feel like, oh, so I'm worth it. So I'm called to do this. I want to, oh, so God loved me and God gave me this gift to do this and to do that. You see what I mean? To do something. There's movement that we can take. He doesn't want to just put us in a box and just put us in a house and stay there. No, God is, Jesus went into the marketplace. He didn't go hang out in the church and just put us in the four walls. He went in the marketplace to get everybody saved and get everybody moving and using their gifts and community. He brought the people together in a community way to share and support one another and care for one another. So that's why I start with spirit first. Then we do the soul. We heal your body. The soul is the healing process of all your emotions, of all you've gone through. That's the healing process, your soul. And then the body is saying, okay, let's put the nutrition. Once you know you're the temple of God, so let's keep it healthy. You gotta be doing some kind of movement, something that you enjoy doing, and you gotta eat right. If you don't feed your body the right food, you're gonna end up with a junky looking skin or junky looking body. You got to do something with it. He gave you this body to exercise it and to feed it.
Right. I love that. Kevin, don't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just kidding. It's just so interesting because of the way you tie it in. You say spirit, soul, and body. It's not mind, body, soul. It's not spirit, mind, body. The way that you break it down is so human, right? Because we are here, we're in a soul having a human experience.
Yeah.
Some of us don't see it that way, but you are helping women realize that the power they have lies within. It's in not us. Go find it, girl. Go search it, go.
Yes, girl. Preach it, girl. You're doing good. Yeah. Yes,
I think I've learned something, Trish. I love it. I just love everything about how you're helping people and how you've used your moments to launch you rather than to keep you in this box that keeps shrinking. Do you know what I mean? It's beautiful. I love you.
Yes. Okay.
I need to know where you live because I'm coming to see you. No, thank you for doing this work. It is the most powerful thing I believe that someone can do. Don't you, Kevin?
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a continuum. It's not like one day an angel came down and tapped you on the head with a wand and said, this is who you're going to be. It's just an ongoing future for you. And it continues to evolve as you continue to help more and more people to get the message out about what you are doing, which is really, I don't know if you know this, I'm pretty sure you do. Right now, we need a lot of inner guidance and getting away from, and Brachelle said it, hurt people. I love that. That's got to be on a bumper sticker, by the way.
Yes. Yes. That's a positive bumper sticker.
Exactly.
But also healing people heal people.
Ooh, I like that even better.
I've heard that one before.
Like it. You're getting there, Michelle.
You guys are making me sweat.
Yeah.
It is so remarkable that as times have gone on and people have changed a little bit. Brachelle's only 27. Can you imagine Trish being 27?
27? Oh my God, she's a baby, but she's a mature baby. She's really got that brain going good. You must be doing a lot of brain vitamins like walnuts and avocado and
I probably need more of that. That
Yeah,
might be my
nutrition.
problem.
Oh,
But
yeah. And I'm all about that stuff too. If you guys want no tips, you got all the simple tips that don't cost you much money at all.
Yes. Trish, I have to ask you about this before we take our next break, because today and recently it's come up a lot when we talk about self-compassion.
Right.
We talk a lot about bringing in your younger self and how you would treat her and going through those things and working past that. But do you remember maybe the time that you heard your higher self come to you for the first time and was there with you?
My higher self that was there with me when I was
Yeah.
feeling
Once you had that
frustrated.
breakthrough in yourself and
Yes, yes,
you accepted you fully.
yes. That was when I got hit in the head with that abuser. And you know what? It was really because see, I did so much. I accomplished so much before this happened, and so what happened is that I couldn't figure out how did I go wrong. How did I go wrong? I'm smart. I know I thought I knew the red flags of abuse. I thought I knew this. I thought I knew that until I got hit in the head by my abuser.
Yep.
I looked at myself in the mirror after I washed the blood off my face, and I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, "Get out now." And then, immediately, that's when I met the doctor that was compassionate. After the doctor, that's when I got this great job. I was back on track with what God was doing with me. You understand? But it took a real punch in my head to wake me up.
Would you
And
say it's
sometimes those things happen like that. You know what I mean? I'm just sharing my story. That's what it's because I'm a strong woman anyway. You see, like,
yeah.
Michelle, you're a strong woman. I see that. You're a strong woman. So some of these strong women need a real. It doesn't mean it has to be a physical, but it's like boom, like an L that hits you. Like somebody would say something. Ooh, whoa, that hurt.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That hurt. Oh God, let me see if I can.
They
You
get
know
the
what I mean?
stubborn ones for sure.
Yes,
And
yes.
what was I was gonna ask you something when I was like, let me remember, but Kevin, do you have a question?
I wish I was just watching or listening to this show because this is pretty cool. I got to tell you, but I can tell you, Trish, where this happened. I think for Burchelle in her recent past was when we first got together, and she had some issues and some stuff and going on, but she really liked being here, and I really loved having her on the show and having her being part of what we do. But there was a point in time when I sent her a message, and the message was just simply, "We need to talk." And
I freaked
and I
out. I panicked. I think I shed my skin that day in about 5
Yeah.
seconds.
And I did
Go ahead.
not realize the impact, but tell us the impact that it had on you. And this can happen, and this is instructive because this can happen to anybody at any time if they take
Right.
it and look at it the right way rather than to poo-poo it. If they really think about it in depth, it can actually make a life-changing thing. What was your response when you read that, Michelle?
Oh shit. I don't think I will never not say that because that's exactly what, like that thought, that one initial thought was followed by, I might get fired. He's unhappy. I messed
Right.
up. And I started putting all
Yeah.
these negative labels on myself because of my past experiences.
Right.
But I gave myself this moment that was probably the first time, you're right, Kevin, that I gave myself that pause. I didn't carry what I was feeling. I separated from it. I went outside, watched the sunset, and was on a swing on a bench out in the middle of absolutely nowhere. And I made that phone call to Kevin. And the first thing he said, do you remember?
Remind me.
You said, how have you been doing and what's been going on? He didn't bring it by, you've done this wrong and I'm unhappy here and this and this and that.
Okay.
He let me talk and tell him where I was coming from and gave me the opportunity to apologize, to take responsibility and let him know where I was falling short and how I felt bad about how it made him feel and how I was showing up and went against what I had promised. And then we reevaluated, and he said, okay, well, this is where I'm at and this is how I'm feeling. Are you willing to do that? And does it align with what you're going through in your life right now? Because it was a really, really hard time. And this was a year after I started with Kevin. So it was another pivot moment for me. And the way he handled that is the reason that I'm here. And I'm realizing now exactly what I was going to ask you. So save this for when we come back, that it allowed me the grace to surrender to myself and have control in the way that I showed up past that moment, not just the next day or next week or after I have dinner. It was right then in that moment. He gave me the grace to give to myself so that I could surrender and gain full control. So tell me what you think of that, Trish, when we come back from this break.
Okay, I'll tell you when we get back.
Okay. Go to her website, which is trishsteele.com. And when we come back, also, I want to talk about your little quiz or your membership and retreat that you got so that people can look out for that.
And Trish, sometimes, as you know, there's courage in vulnerability. And it takes sometimes a great deal of strength. We often think of courage as a shield, a thick wall to prove that we are untouchable. We believe that to be strong is to be invulnerable, hiding our doubts and our soft edges behind a mask of certainty. But true courage isn't found in the armor. It's found in the willingness to take it off. Vulnerability is the act of showing up and being seen exactly as you are, even when you cannot control the outcome. It's the bravery to say, I'm hurting, I don't know, or I need help. When we hide our struggles, we also hide our humanity. It's only when we are vulnerable can we truly connect, truly learn, and truly heal. Armor can protect you, but only vulnerability can transform you. And welcome back to Positive Talk. I got to ask you, Trish, what did you think of that piece?
Oh my gosh, honey. You know, my biggest and most favorite thing to teach on is putting on the full armor of God. But before you put on the full armor of God, you got to have the grace and the wisdom and the courage to put that full armor on. Because when you put it on, it is a battlefield that you are protecting yourself from.
Yes, it is.
And indeed it is. So, Rochelle, go ahead. You had a thought going into the break, and now did you forget it?
Yes. Well, the reason I say this, Trish, is because in that moment with Kevin, I didn't realize it was that moment, Kevin. And I talk about this a lot, so I'm glad that we were able to pinpoint it. But I started to tell people and say to myself, and I told Kevin, that when I surrendered, I gained full control, because then I only gave myself permission to be in control of me and allow whatever wasn't in my control to be. What do you think of that?
I think it's beautiful, beautiful. It's a perfect example of what God says, unless you humble yourself like one of these little children, you will not see the kingdom of God. And this is where a lot of people that are very intelligent, they've got the master's degree, they got everything, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a time where we're going to have to be humble, because we don't know who we're going to come across with and who we're talking to, whether it's our boss, whether it's a friend, or whether it's somebody, an acquaintance that we have to work with. We have to learn to be humble and allow ourselves to sometimes listen. And if it's something that we need to do, if there's some work that needs to be done or something, or direction we're doing, we can't act like we know it all. We can't. Just be humble and just make it easy for both of us. And there's nothing wrong with being humble. And one of the ladies that I discipled and mentored, she came up with an amazing nonprofit, and it is called, and you've probably seen this all over, but she got a trademark on it. She came up with a foundation, help her with her foundation, and it is kindness is cool. She's got the trademark. Kindness is not a weakness; it is a strength. And now she is taking that to the schools, and she's already started in the schools in New York because that's where she lived, teaching kids how to be kind because kindness is cool. It's a strength. It gives you favor. It opens doors for you. When you're kind, the kindness is so cool. When you bully people and this and that, nobody wants to be around you. It's not cool. It's not. It's like you're gonna get rejected.
Yep. Kevin, can we play that piece? Please.
Yes. Yes, dear. I do believe that we can. And this is one of the first ones that I did because and Trish, just so you know, because you haven't heard it yet, maybe you have, but I end every show with be kind to one another because each other's all we've got. And this came from that. And it's just a minute long. And I would love your opinion on it on the other side. The strength of staying kind from your friends at Positive Talk Radio. Kindness is not weakness. It takes real strength to stay kind in a world that often rewards anger, ego, and control. Being kind means choosing to act from your values, not your wounds. It means showing grace even when no one's watching. But kindness doesn't mean being passive. It doesn't mean letting people take advantage of your time, your energy, or your peace. You can be kind and still say no. You have a soft heart with firm boundaries. The strongest people I know are the ones who choose compassion without losing themselves. They've been hurt. They've been tested. And still, they choose to love and lead and to lift others anyway. Kindness is not about pleasing everybody. It's about honoring who you are and how you treat others, even when it's hard. So stay kind, stay human, and stay strong. And always remember this, be kind to one another because each other's all we've got. And what do you think of that, Trish?
Oh my gosh. I gotta say, you need to go to Louisa Diaz Foundation. She started the whole Kindness is Cool movement. LouisaDiazFoundation.org. I mean, oh my God, I'm so glad that she's part of the worldwide picture. This is what you're just sharing. Oh, how beautiful. I can't believe it. God set us all three up today. Let me tell you.
I do believe so.
It's like, thank you.
And I say that all the time, and it is so true. And you, by the way, are just a brilliant, courageous woman who is working to help women everywhere realize that the trauma that happened to them is not, number one, it's not their fault.
Right.
They didn't do it. They are the victims of it. And by the way, if you are the perpetrator of such violence, stop it. Quit it. Go get help because you need it. And so Trish, I thank you. I love that piece, and I love the fact that you love that piece.
Yes, it's part of my upbringing and legacy. It is. It's part of the legacy of what we do.
Well, your legacy.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say her legacy is going to continue for many, 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 many decades.
I believe it, and it's going to take all of us to do it. It takes all of us.
Well, and if you want to be a part of her world and see what this is like, I saw you've got memberships and retreats available. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so after building the legacy of Safe Passage of 35 years, actually it's 57 years, but it's 35 years under the nonprofit 501c3. I took the prototype of everything I've learned and how to help everybody, just women, children, men, anybody that suffered from any trauma. You know, we've all gone through trauma. We've all gone through some kind of disappointment, hopelessness, whatever. Every person, doesn't matter how great the family is or anything, everybody has their time. But there is a time where we need to take a break. And that break is our retreats. So I do these women's retreats for the women. The woman that there's three types of memberships, but the retreats are all about helping the women rejuvenate their spirit, helping them heal from their emotions, and strengthening their bodies. And we do it at different great places like spa resorts. And it's like God created the most beautiful places along the coastline from San Diego to Santa Barbara. And I'm going to be booking women's retreats for that so that it would be like a weekend retreat or it could be a 2 day week, but there'll be private consultations because I cater the retreat to their need. And it's only a minimum of two people. If you want to just you and your girlfriend come, and we'll rent out, a couple of rooms, and you're gonna have 2 days with Trish Steele, and the time you leave, you're gonna be ageless, fearless, and divinely connected. And so it's just amazing. My membership now is for women that are in the stages of the first membership is like $249, and it's a yearly membership. But this membership is going to give you the resources to help build your own leadership. So God, calls you to do something, but sometimes you need mentors to help you get there to the next level. Just like I had several mentors to help me get to my level where I'm at. And then the second membership is for those that are leaders, but they got to a place where they're burned out and they're trying to make a switch. Like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. You know what I mean? Because some people work hours, endless hours, and they're juggling a family, they're juggling their husbands, they're juggling, the career, and they get burned out. And then I help them through the steps of balance, have a balanced life. You got to balance your life out in order to be happy with all that you want to do. And then the third one is for my legends, people that have made a success, but they want to keep into the membership to network. On sharpens on. We all sharpen each other. So all these people that have legacies and businesses, we come together and we have a summit once a year. We have, meetings, and these are these leaders that are really, we're creating. We're creating more because just God's a creator, and He gave us the ability to create. So now we're going to create more things, and we're gonna look at the year of what it is that our world needs. I mean, look at our world now. It definitely needs peace, doesn't it? It definitely needs to put out the violence. There's so much violence going on. So this is what these legends, we come together and we brainstorm and have that fellowship to figure out what can our legacy offer the world.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for
And
making those possible.
Yeah.
exactly. And by the way, if you're listening to this now or in the future, it matters not. What it means is that the divine or God or the universe, however
Yeah.
you define it, has encouraged you to listen to this show so that you can then act on it. Contact Trish and act and join the community of women who are working to make themselves and each other just a little bit better. And that's the only way it's ever really going to happen. Don't you think, Rochelle?
Yeah, I truly believe. And as we close out the show, Kevin, I am so blessed to be here in this world to learn from people like Trish,
Mhm.
for you to have made this possible because you stuck with it. And that's why Trish is here. So, more than
Thank you.
anything, every day, thank you for allowing these conversations to be possible. Trish, thank you for spending this time with us
Oh,
and
yes.
teaching us and our audience that we are worthy of love and compassion and grace, and that the heavens above are the heavens below right here. You just
Yes.
need to see it within yourself, and then you'll see it project out in the world. Thank you for everything you've made possible. And literally just continuing to do it. So please, everybody, where you can go to find everything that Trish has to offer to this world and that we've been able to talk about in this hour, by going to trishsteele.com. Your iron can be sharpened through somebody else's, and you deserve to make that leap. Trish, is there anything you'd like to leave us with that is on your mind for the day?
No, well, I'm going to say no, yes, but I just would like to. I am so honored and blessed to be used by God for such a time as this. Believe me, and all of you, we are in the prime time of our life and everything that's going on in this world, and we have an opportunity to pay it forward and bring something positive out of all that we see going on in this world.
Amen.
This is our opportunity.
And you've been doing it for 57 years.
Yes.
So Trish Steele has been our guest. And Rochelle, her website one more time before we check out.
Yes, trishsteele.com is where to go. And the last thing that you just said, Trish, I was going to feed off of, but I forgot. Just, you are worthy of making that leap, making that jump, and seeing the other side, because it's inside of you. And it's waiting for your attention. So give it the option to come out.
Thank you.
And if you give it that option, it will come out.
That's right.
And it will serve you well. We love you, everyone. Love yourself the same.
Yes.
Thank you for being part of Positive Talk with Kevin McDonald, where stories inspire and voices remind us of what truly matters. May today's conversation give you hope, courage, and a reason to keep moving forward. And just remember, till next time, be kind to one another, because each other's all we've got.